Greetings, Internet. It is Sunday, November 15th, 2009, and this is TechieKris. It looks like those years of wondering why Microsoft hasn't released a decent free antivirus package are over. They have finally released a program called Microsoft Security Essentials, and I checked it out. It's not too bad. If you take a look at this chart that compares antivirus programs, you'll see that the Security Essentials package does pretty well and holds its own against malware removal and malware blocking, comparing quite nicely to paid suites such as Norton Internet Security 2010 and Panda Internet Security. In fact, it beats Panda Internet Security in... If you look over at the keylogger removal and the keylogger blocking, you'll notice it doesn't do too well. But my suggestion for you would be that if you want to run this program, you probably have a separate program running like Spybot or any of your favorite adware removal programs to supplement it. Personally, I am running the program to test it out officially, but I don't want to give an official opinion on it because I have only been running it for about 2 days. I'll let you know on the next vlog how things are going with it and if there's any problems that I've experienced. Other than that, it does seem like a nice program. It's very nice looking, it's simple, it updates itself, of course. But the big thing here is that Microsoft has never had a free anti-spy or antivirus program that you could just download, and it almost seemed totally ridiculous that here they have a Windows operating system that can be infected by viruses, and they don't really do anything to help people not be infected by viruses. They count on third parties. And they had that OneCare thing before, I know, but that was total crap. It was slow, it didn't work very well, it scored very low, and you had to pay. So here's hoping. Just wanted to show some props to one of my favorite YouTubers. It's a show called Man in the Box. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen The Office. It's all about office quirks, and it is quite funny. This guy is a really good comedian, and he has a lot of good ideas. Check it out. The link is in the sidebar. Don't know if you've heard of this, but there was a huge Ponzi scheme inside the Bernard Madoff Corporation. Looks like 2 programmers were caught and arrested in the $65 billion fraud. If you're not familiar with what a Ponzi scheme is, it's basically a scheme in which investors are enticed to invest their money with an extreme or unrealistic return rate. And the way that it actually works is that these people basically market the scheme and they get people to invest so fast and so much that that's how the whole thing keeps going. But nobody ever really gets anything or much back. It's kind of similar to a pyramid scheme. Anyway, I thought this was interesting because these 2 guys are programmers. Usually it's accountants and other such HR type people that are involved in this, but these guys actually helped falsify the books from a programming angle of this company, and they're now arrested by the FBI. 2 programmers. So, lesson learned. If you're a programmer, be careful. Thought this was kind of interesting. Flying cars. We've heard about this forever. Everyone's always wanted a flying car. Society in general has been wondering, when are we going to finally have flying cars? Well, the first part of the problem was, are they realistic? You have a bunch of people that can barely drive around themselves. There's tens of thousands of accidents every day, and here we're going to give them airplanes basically to fly around. Well, looks like they finally come up with some flying car ideas that are feasible and could work. However, the problem now is they don't look cool enough. Well, there's about 7 flying car ideas that MSNBC has gotten together, and in my opinion, some of them range from decent to holy cow, that looks like a UFO from the Jetsons. But all in all, I guess that is the current challenge, is to make a flying car that looks as cool as cars today. Although I do see some pretty cruddy cars out there that I don't think should be on the road. Charger. Anyway, check it out. Link in the sidebar. You can see what these new flying car ideas have brought us. Looks like we're just one step closer. Maybe even within this decade, we might see some flying cars. I just got the new Razer 3500 DPI Deathadder mouse. It's a mouse for gamers, and it's supposed to fit well to your hand and have a really high resolution, 3500 DPI. The other cool thing is it can pull at up to 1000 hertz, which is insanely faster than any other mouse that I've had. I think the typical polling rate is about 120 Hertz. What that means to gamers is that basically while you're in a game, especially if you're playing a Twitch game where you need to move fast and you need to be accurate, your movements can be quicker and your accuracy is much higher than with a 120 Hertz mouse. Also has a new technology called drift control, which basically says when you move your mouse over to maybe swing your character to the side and shoot somebody in the head, for instance, your hand is not exactly perfect and it might go up and down considerably as you make that line from the left to the right or whatever. This detects that and it actually will just make a straight line for you so that you can hit that person's head straight on. It's pretty cool. Of course you can adjust the Hertz response and you can adjust the DPI, but why not just always have it up at the max? I mean, really. And if you're curious, this is what it looks like. It glows. Yes, it's pretty cool. I haven't done much with it, to be honest with you, as far as gaming. I've done a little bit, so I couldn't give it a full review, but I would say so far it is a really comfortable mouse. It moves very fluidly and smoothly, and yes, you can tell the difference in the Hertz response. So if I have any more input on that later, I'll let you know. Oh my god, the Open Office mouse. Now you gotta take one look at this thing. Tell me that is not hilarious. Now it almost seems like a joke, I know, but it's a real mouse. This is for your Uber Office user, someone who wants to program. You know, personally, I would put like an STFU macro on the thumb because I just like STFU if I was chatting or something. But this is really for when you're in an Office program. Technically, it's by Open Office, so I should probably plug that. And you can use the buttons to just program any sort of macro or function that you want. It almost looks totally ridiculous, but if you're not a gamer and you're particularly in the Office world where you're just doing a lot of things over and over the same, this could probably have a lot of use. So check it out. The link is in the sidebar. Okay, last and definitely least, I want to illustrate my utter discontent with the modern day pop music culture. Started with Britney Spears and now has devolved into Miley Cyrus. At least when Britney Spears came out, she would put some effort into choreography. Now I don't particularly like pop music, as you can tell, but I don't particularly hate it. On occasion, it's good for just some mindless driving. If you need to get somewhere and it's taking a long time, just put on some pop music, put on whatever, throw it in the mix, I don't care, it's fine. But for the most part, I don't listen to it by and large. But I do want to make an example of this Miley Cyrus video, Party in the USA. First of all, if there's a party in the USA, then it's obviously in the USA. Why do you need to say that it's in the USA? Why not be more specific, like party in Boise, party in LA? Or maybe party at my house. What's party in the USA? Why? Who cares? You know what? Party in the United Kingdom. Okay, great. Party in Iraq. That's fine. Who cares? Why does it have to be the focus of the song, yet, let alone the name of the song? Number 2. Most of the lyrics revolve around her saying to us what she's doing. Moving her hips like, yeah. Nodding my head like, yeah. And then she'll move her hips just a little bit and then maybe nod her head a little bit. Nothing to do with dancing or choreography. And in fact, there is no dancing or choreography in the whole darn video. The most talented person in the video is the dude that does a backflip off of the truck. Other than that, it's just a bunch of random shots with her singing and back and forth. Number 3. I'll bet you that her only involvement in the song is that she sang the song. And for that fact, we don't even know if she sang it well because there's so much reverb and karaoke effect on her voice that we don't know what her voice really sounds like. She didn't dance in the video. I guarantee you she didn't pick the backgrounds or the cinematography or didn't do any of the work. And finally, number 4. I can guarantee you that she had nothing to do with how this video was put together. Although I would believe it because it is put together very stupidly. It just goes from one shot to the next and doesn't make any sense. There's no story to the song, so I guess there can be no story to the video. And it's not just her. This is a trend that's been happening in pop music for the last decade or two. It's just been getting despicable. Talentless retards. Okay, rant over. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you. Well, that's just about all the time I had for you today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.